This fight will not go the distance. Somebody will get knocked out. I don't believe these guys will be able to handle them. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we will be predicting the upcoming fight between Jarrell versus Lenier. This is a very good fight, guys, and I am very excited to see this fight. Jarrell, he's coming off a win after his comeback fight against Kingsley Ibe back in January, and Lenier is coming off a win over Thompson last year. These guys are, when it comes to like head movement, are typically one of the worst guys to move their head. They don't even know how to really move their head like that. So this fight is probably going to be like obviously like a stand-up, no dodging, barely any dodging, just freaking throwing punches at each other, trying to finish each other early. I think that's what's going to happen in this fight. Jarrell, man, looking at his last fight against Kingsley Ibe, he kind of looked a little sloppy in that fight. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But Barrero, he's kind of a sloppy dude too, and that's what makes this fight very interesting. Very surprised. At first, I kind of thought Jarrell was going to win, but kind of looking at Pereiro's fights, even though obviously they're both kind of sloppy, I still think that Pereiro could give him a tough fight. And for another fight that Jarrell is having after losing to Kingsley Ibe, I think it's a winnable fight for him, and so it is a winnable fight for Pereiro. I think Jarrell will probably outsize him in this fight, guys. Last time he fought against Ibe, if I'm not mistaken, he was like 305 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. That's how much he weighed, and I don't see Jarrell becoming a world champion. I feel like he had a chance a few years back when he was younger. He is getting older. I'm not mistaken, he's like 37, something. I don't know how old exactly he is, but I know he's getting very old. And I feel like the ageness of Jarrell is going to kick up with him in this fight with Lenier. I don't think either of these guys will beat Usyk nor beat that much people in the top 10. I do believe it's a big win for Pereiro, but do I think Pereiro is going to come in and beat someone like Anthony Joshua, someone like Andy Ruiz, someone like Joseph Parker, Fabio Wardley, Danny Dubois, even Moses Atama, Aja Kabayel? I don't think he's beating any of those. I don't think he'll beat any of those guys. Just because he doesn't have the proper head movement. I feel like he could possibly be like the only one that I feel like he has a winnable chance on beating is Danny Dubois, just because of the mentality that Dubois has nowadays. But other than that, I feel like he'll lose to everyone else. As for Jarrell, so will he probably. I think he's better off. I feel like if he loses this fight, that may be close to him retiring. Because mind you, he didn't fight at all in 2025, but it was not like it was necessarily his fault. He did get injured during when he was supposed to fight Fabio Wardley back in June. Well, we can kind of say that's his fault, but we don't know what actually happened, because sometimes it could be from them going way too hard, or sometimes it could be like just one mistake that they make in the gym. Like, let's say they just hit the bag and then their shoulder just hurts very bad. That could have possibly had happened too. Then he was supposed to fight Michael Hunter like September or something, but Michael Hunter's promoter, Don King, didn't want that fight to happen. He wasn't agreeing to it. It was just a tough time, so he couldn't get the fight. And then he just couldn't have no more opponents. I wanted him to fight Andy Ruiz before the year ended. I wanted that rematch with him and Andy Ruiz. I feel like that was well-deserved. But, it didn't happen. Then he was going to fight Kingsley Ibe. I thought he was just going to go and possibly just dominate Kingsley Ibe. Even though Kingsley Ibe is a good fighter, he came off win over Gerald Washington before then. But it's not like I thought he was going to beat him. Then he also, if you guys don't know, Kingsley Ibe, if you guys actually watch his fights, he did lose to Waldo Cortez Acosta, but you guys don't know who Waldo is. Waldo Cortez Acosta is an UFC fighter. Before he was a UFC fighter, he was an MMA boxer. But then he went in and did mixed martial arts, and he had a way better time in doing that. So he fought him twice. I think they were both very good fights from what I heard. I haven't necessarily watched the fights. I just know that he lost to him and he fought him like twice. So like I said, this is a very good fight. But another thing I will say about this fight. This fight will not go the distance. Somebody will get knocked out. I don't believe these guys will be able to handle the. We'll be able to go a whole. If I'm not mistaken, it's like a 12-round fight. If I'm not mistaken, so the whole 12 rounds. Then, but mind you, I feel like here's what's gonna happen. So I got Pereira winning this fight, but here's how I think it's gonna happen. I think Jarrell Miller is going to beat him, and then I think Pereira's possibly going to get I won't call him lucky shots. He's going to set up a nice punch and possibly knock him out. I see that happening. I also see Jarrell Miller just stopping him in under 5 rounds. But also, mind you, I don't think that Pereira's going to have a good moment to this fight, unless he knocks him out. Just because Jarrell Miller, man, when have you ever seen him get really effective like that? Obviously, we've seen him in that fight with Daniel Dubois. But he took that fight on 4 weeks' notice, guys. Short notice fight. So, on a full training camp, nobody's ever affected him very bad in a fight. So, you can't necessarily say Daniel Dubois because I was on a short notice fight. You got to say a fight with full camp. And like I said, I feel like Jarrell Miller kind of messed up his chance on fighting for a world title, because you guys are wondering, Jarrell Miller is a good fighter, but how can he never fight for a world title? If you guys remember correctly, he was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua, but he had failed the drug test. He had failed for like steroids, if I'm not mistaken, so he had to pull out, and then had Andy Ruiz fight for it. Andy Ruiz knocked out Anthony Joshua, and then all that other stuff happened. So he used to take, I think it was like steroids, but it was some type of drug that was making him like very jacked, so he used to take steroids, if I'm not mistaken. After that, he didn't really have that as much muscle as how he did at one point. But my prediction in this fight, guys, will be Pereira by a late round knockout. Comment down below who you guys are going to win this fight, Miller or Pereira, knockout or decision. Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank y'all for 80 subscribers. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.